from Wittenberg University, and Happy New Year. I'm Janet Jackson, a 1975 graduate of Wittenberg University, and also a member of the board of the university. I'm also your moderator tonight for the first ever Wit Everywhere event. I've been joined tonight by Rebecca Kocher, Vice President for Advancement and Alumni Engagement. Becky, you joined the Wittenberg family in July. How's that been? What's it like being a part of this family?
It's been awesome, Janet. So my family and I moved to Springfield this summer, and it's been such a welcoming environment all around. I mean, hit the ground running, and I'm surrounded with a really dedicated and experienced team and great alumni, dedicated board members, and we're just doing great things, and it's overall very invigorating.
Great, good. We also have Kari Truax with us this evening, a senior from Carmel, Indiana. Kari, you just got back from the holiday, back on campus, and it's your last semester here. How do you feel?
So I had a wonderful break with my family, and I'm excited to be back on campus. It is my last semester, so I'm planning to just enjoy every moment and really just celebrate my last semester here and enjoy graduation.
That's the right thing to do. Great. I'm also delighted to be joined by Wittenberg's 15th president, Michael Frandsen. As a member of the Presidential Search Committee that helped to bring Mike to Wittenberg, I can say that we are thrilled to have him leading our beloved institution. This evening is meant to be both informative and interactive. You're welcome to send in questions at any time, and we will take as many as we can tonight. I also want to thank those alumni who have already submitted questions ahead of tonight's event, which we'll also try to get to this evening. As a reminder, questions can be sent using Twitter with the hashtag #WitEverywhere. If we are unable to get to your questions, or if you have remaining questions, please email us at alumni@wittenberg.edu to have your question answered after this event. I also want to share that this event kicks off a year of special programming as we prepare to mark a milestone in the life of Wittenberg. On March 11, 2020, we will celebrate the 175th anniversary of our university's founding. Think about that for a moment. For 175 years, we have helped students find their light so that they can pass it on to others. I know the experience I had more than 40 years ago changed my life, and I trust it changed your lives too. Our motto, having light we pass it on to others, embodies all that we do. And tonight, we will see how that light has continued on in our students and at our university. Thank you for joining us. It is now my pleasure to introduce President Franzen, who will give us a brief glimpse into life at Wittenberg before we head into questions and our conversation. Michael?
Thank you, Janet, and thanks to all of you for participating in this virtual event tonight. I'm honored to be with you this evening and to serve as your 15th president. As alumni, all of you are our ambassadors, and we're grateful for what you do in that regard. And as Janet already announced, 2020 marks our 175th year. And I thought it would be helpful to start the year with some brief updates from campus. As always, I want to start with our students. They continue to learn, grow, and change every day, and they're really the reason we're here. They're the reason we do what we do. And the education they are receiving is happening both in and outside the classroom. And hands-on experiences are becoming more important than ever in that education. One such experience is student-faculty research, which has always been a cornerstone of the education we deliver. Many students are engaged in such research, including through our first-year research award program, where we pair incoming students with faculty to work on research projects right from their very first semester on campus. Together with faculty mentors, students have studied history through archaeological digs, explored local water sources, partnered in understanding genetic comparisons within species, and analyzed best practices in writing education, just to name a few examples. Through such experiential learning opportunities, several students also had the opportunity to present at academic conferences. Others annually share their innovative ideas during our our Shark Tank inspired Tiger Tank, which will happen this year on February 5th and will again be live streamed for those who are interested. I also had the chance to be in New York with our students in November through our Communication and Business Leadership Experience, or CABLE, as they presented to executives at JP Morgan Chase and Google. These unique opportunities allow our students to learn by doing, which our student panelist, Kari, knows firsthand. Kari, what has been your experience with hands-on learning opportunities at WIT? And I know particularly you've been involved with the Hagen Center. Tell the audience, tell us about that.
Yes, I'd be happy to share. The Hagen Center has been a wonderful department here at Wittenberg that has served me greatly and other students. I've had the opportunity to serve as a community service coordinator, where I get to help students find their service, and then I also get to see behind the scenes what it is to serve and how much that impacts the community. I get to see the give and take for the students. They're contributing to Springfield, but they're also getting so much out of that experience, and to talk to them afterwards to hear about those experiences. And I've had those as well through my service. And then I also had the opportunity to study abroad last spring at the Wit and Wit program, and being in Germany and traveling around Europe and all those new experiences has really helped develop me over the last 4 years.
Yeah, thanks. That's great, and that's why we're here, to create those kind of opportunities like Kari just described. Looking across our campus, we're also continuing our tradition of excellence in producing student Fulbright Award winners. Our latest recipient, 2019 graduate Catherine Winter, is a testament to that, and she is currently studying in the Czech Republic. Wittenberg students are out in the world taking advantage of learning opportunities, not just those in Springfield, but opportunities in Costa Rica, Wittenberg, as Kari shared, Poland, Lesotho, and at a new program in Cape Town, South Africa. Bringing the world to us, we welcomed a new ELCA scholar this year, Seta Sharif from Liberia. She joins Evelina Chandran from Malaysia, who's now in her second year here at WIT through the ELCA Scholars Program. As you all can attest, our faculty embody teaching excellence, and such excellence was on full display this year. Elizabeth George, Professor of Physics, was named the 2019 recipient of the Alumni Association Award for Distinguished Teaching. 1991 alumna Kathy Peterson was named our inaugural Elizabeth Powelson Endowed Chair in Biology. And Kathleen Reinsel, Director of the Marine Science Program, is now the Greenewalt Professor of Biology. Our faculty also continue to be recognized nationally with some recent accolades involving Ray Chair in the Humanities, Dar Brooks Hedstrom, and her latest book on monastic landscape, and Professor of Sociology Keith Doubt's newest book on national identity in Bosnia-Herzegovina. Our student athletes continue to excel as we work to build champions for a lifetime. We've seen our women's volleyball team win the NCAC regular season title for the 14th straight year and the 25th time in program history. Our football team won its 4th straight league championship, and the men's golf team ended the fall season ranked among the top 5 nationally. Our Tiger basketball teams are continuing their winning ways too, with the men unbeaten and now ranked 2nd in the country, and the women riding an 8-game winning streak. Service remains an integral part of our mission and purpose, with students continuing to change lives in our community and beyond. Our long-standing partnership with Springfield is a point of pride. In fact, this year, our Susan Hurt Hagen Center for Civic and Urban Engagement, which Kari spoke about earlier, launched a new research institute led by 1997 alumnus and professor of political science, Ed Haseke, along with a new Engage Springfield community dashboard, which makes data about the community more available for research, grant writing, and goal setting. Further up the hill, our Compass Sweet Success Center in Thomas Library is now the first stop for students thanks to the generosity of a former board member and 1982 alumna Alicia Sweethup, her husband Greg, and our student senate. More than 3,500 engagements happen between the center and students each year. A new partnership with local business Coffee Expressions, which now manages the Compass Coffee Shop, has only added to the center's community feel. Across campus, more good news is happening as a joint $10 million gift from Emerita board member Sarah Hagan McWilliams, class of 1988, and her father, Tom Hagan, allowing us to reimagine Coe Hall, our unique home to the visual arts. We need more support to make the project a reality, but the end result will literally bring more light and openness into Coe Hall so as to inspire future creative professionals to find their own light. If you made it back to campus for homecoming and reunion weekend, you again saw the result of extreme generosity and the power of public-private partnership through tax credits, as we formally dedicated our new 265,000 square foot health, wellness, and athletics complex, and its centerpiece, the steamer. Thanks to a lead gift from 1970 alumni Wes and Ann Bates, and gifts from generations of Tigers, we now have a best-in-class learning facility and competition space that includes a newly restored 1929 field house, classrooms, an exercise science lab, the Kremchek Sports Medicine Facility, the 6,000 square foot Wes Bates Strength Center, Baines Conference Room, Nest Lounge, and Ron Duncan Hall of Honor. Homecoming also saw us celebrate alumni success and commemorate the 50th anniversary of the historic walkout by concerned Black students in 1969. The stories shared and the courage showed 50 years ago are both incredible, and I encourage you to hear their stories for yourselves on our website. This past year and in the years to come, diversity, equity, and inclusion must be at the center of our campus conversations as we work to pave our future path. Toward that end, I have established a presidential task force to engage our community in conversations, actions, and solutions. The task force's efforts were furthered by the walkout conversations during homecoming, but no matter how far we've come, I know we still have much to do. I'm honored that Janet is playing a prominent role in this work. Janet, can you share a bit more about how those involved with the walkout and how your conversations are looking to inspire change?
Well, first I'd like to say thank you to you, President Frandsen, to the faculty that were involved, and to the staff, certainly the students, and specifically the students of concerned Black students. And I would even say to our board members who participated that day. It was an awesome event. It was just terrific to have so many friends coming back. The reenactment of the walk, I think, was certainly uplifting. The conversations, the fact that we had the leaders from that class back on campus and sharing their experiences. But after we had the walkout and the panel discussion and reception, where I must say I was thrilled to see Dr. Mabel Jackson, who was one of my favorite professors here when I was on campus. We talked about the future, how we could stay involved with the university and with the students. And so I believe going forward we will have an association where first and foremost we want to support the students who are on campus, whether it's with mentoring, helping them find internships, just encouraging them that there is life after college, and it's a pretty terrific one. And to also be supportive of the university, because it takes that. It takes the alumni being involved to keep this very special place special.
Thank you, Janet. Again, really appreciate your work and your involvement with the walkout commemoration and all you do for us at Wittenberg. As we honored this milestone and celebrated student success and alumni success overall at homecoming, we also find ourselves in the ongoing national conversation around a college education, particularly at a liberal arts college like ours. I know many of you have sent in questions already regarding our financial footing and the future of higher education. and I want to share some thoughts on that now. These are challenging times for colleges and universities as college enrollment has declined in the U.S. for 8 straight years. We are among a number of institutions struggling with resource constraints as we seek new ways to fulfill our mission that are both respectful of the history, but also embrace an uncertain future. We do this work as we hear of institutions closing, merging, and working urgently to develop new innovative programs and forward-thinking methods of educational delivery. I spent 4 days earlier this month with almost 400 other presidents from institutions like ours, and all are facing challenges. We know we must evolve in response to our environment and the times. That we must change and adapt simply fuels our resolve to continue our efforts to be the institution that helps students find their light so they can pass it on to others. As I travel and in conversations with our alumni office, I've been both energized by the passion our alumni have for Wittenberg and occasionally saddened when alumni share that they don't feel comfortable referring Wittenberg to future students or that they don't want to support our efforts for one reason or another. For those who may feel that way, please know that I am working to ensure that Wittenberg continues to fulfill its mission. We'd like to be around for another 175 years, and that any decisions we are making right now are anything but short-sighted. We're engaged in a long-term plan for building enrollment, growing strong academic programs, upgrading facilities, enhancing our campus footprint, and investing in strategic areas that meet students' needs and interests. We are also moving ahead with our first comprehensive fundraising campaign in more than 20 years. All of these areas require the support of our alumni if we are to be the institution that continues to help students discover their light, just as we helped you find yours. I encourage you to be part of our efforts with your support, engagement, and partnership. Because of you, we can continue to inspire more students to choose Wittenberg. This is what we are called to do, and together, I am confident we will. Thank you for joining us. Now, let's get to our discussion.
Thank you, President Frandsen, for that overview. As a reminder, we are still actively taking questions, which we will answer in just a moment. I simply want to add that as a board member, I believe fully in the current trajectory we are taking to position and align our alma mater for future success. The decisions have been difficult at times, but they are required if we are to preserve our mission and advance our future. So let's get to your questions. Again, you can send your questions via Twitter at #WitEverywhere and later to alumni@wittenberg.edu if we don't get your question this evening. Our first question asks, what are we doing to improve enrollment?
You know, as we looked at our enrollment and some of the challenges that we and other places have faced, we really decided that we needed to concentrate on 2 things, and that's connecting with students earlier and connecting with students in a more personal way. Really getting to know them as they go through the student recruitment and student discovery process about Wittenberg, and really making sure we know what's important to them and that we give them opportunities to see Wittenberg through their eyes, not through our eyes, but for them to experience the things that are truly important for them as they look ahead to their college experience. And we're doing a much better job, I feel, in really connecting with students where they are as individuals. And I think that's critical, and I think that's probably not something new for Wittenberg, but something that maybe we lost a little bit, that we're really putting renewed emphasis on.
Okay. Our second question asks about our unique value proposition and what we're doing to differentiate ourselves from other small liberal arts schools.
Yeah. You know, I've served 4 different liberal arts institutions, and I can honestly say that none of them is as welcoming as this one is. We talk about W is for welcome at Wittenberg, and I think that's a piece of it. I also think we've got a mix of academic program offerings that's unique among schools like ours. We've got programs in traditional liberal arts and sciences, but we also have outstanding pre-professional programs. We have a program in business. We have a program in education. We have a new program in nursing. And I think part of that differentiation is that unique mix of programs. Kari, you made this choice a few years ago. What would you say were some of the things that differentiated Wittenberg for you as you thought about your future?
I, like so many, like Janet and those who are with us here tonight, chose Wittenberg because as soon as you stepped on campus, it felt like home. It's a beautiful campus, and you just feel that feeling that I can't really describe, but it felt like home. And also I was seeking a university where I could build relationships, and that has definitely exceeded my expectations by being here at Wittenberg. My peers and the staff and the faculty have done a wonderful job of pushing me and supporting me, and I have been very grateful for that. Also, the opportunities that I've had here, I've been able to play a couple years on the volleyball team and then also join a sorority, be on committees and clubs, and be able to serve Wittenberg and the Springfield community through those. And then also, like I mentioned earlier, the Wit and Wit program. But ultimately, I wanted a place where I could find genuine people, and that is definitely something that I have found here. The students that I get to work with and those who have helped me throughout the years have really shown that selflessness and have seeked me out and really pushed me to be who I need to be as I get ready to go do something new.
Our next question asks about fundraising and where we stand on annual giving overall the past 2 years and the board's role in giving. Becky, would you like to address that one?
Absolutely, Janet. Thank you. So as we continue to strengthen our relationships here at Wittenberg with our alumni and really build a donor-centered fundraising program, I think it's important that we create opportunities like this where we can provide opportunities to get feedback and to hear what our alumni are saying. And I think that's at the forefront of everything that we're doing. Our fiscal year runs July 1 through June 30. And I'm really proud to say that at the halfway mark of our current fiscal year 20, we are trending well ahead compared to last fiscal year in our cash in and our total annual giving dollars. And I think it's a true testament to the strength of the team, the collaboration with campus and our campus partners, and also really keeping our donors and our alumni at the forefront of those conversations. As President Franzen mentioned, we are in our first campaign in over 20 years at Wittenberg. And so this provides us a really great opportunity to hear those voices and also meet our alumni and our donors where they're at. And so we have a $100 million goal for our campaign. I am happy to say we are currently at $64.2 million of that goal, and we're in what's called the quiet phase right now. So we're continuing to build kind of our principal gifts and focus on our priorities, which really centers around the people, place, and the present, which I think really embodies what Wittenberg is. And I echo what Kari and you all have said, is that Wittenberg is so welcoming and so genuine that it's truly a great place to be, and to see the passion and be able to connect with our alumni in that way is really great. As far as the board, all of our boards, our board of directors, our alumni board, our committees are truly, truly dedicated to the mission of what we're doing. As President Frandsen said, it can be tough times right now in the world of higher education, but I feel very fortunate to work somewhere where our alumni body is so invested in our board of directors. And they're truly behind what we're doing and committed in the campaign. And we're having great conversations with our board of directors and many of our board members on other boards to talk about their campaign commitments in the quiet phase before we go public, which, selfless plug, is in October 2020. So join us for Homecoming. Mark your calendars, October 2nd through the 4th. We look forward to seeing you there.
Great. We have a question about how alumni can help when they can't make it back to campus. You referenced how involved so many of our alumni are and how invested, but when they can't make it back to campus, how can they be involved?
Yeah, I love that question because, it's difficult. We're all really, really busy. And of course, we want alumni to come back to campus as often as you can. And I'm going to give a quick shout out to all of our chapter watch parties that are happening right now. Thank you for joining us across the nation. So we currently have 12 chapters across the nation, and as I said, we want everyone to come back to campus as often as they can. It's really an infectious environment. We want you to be part of the action. That being said, we also know that everybody is very busy and we have alumni all over the world, and so it can be hard to make that happen. So tonight I think is a great example of that. We're focused more on virtual engagement opportunities where we can really meet our alumni where they're at. And I'm just picturing, our over 26,000 alumni across the nation sipping their hot cocoa in their really nice, comfortable pajamas. And that's great that we can do this, right? And we can bring students to you and connect alumni with our students that way. In addition, I mentioned we have 12 chapters. We're always seeking, our alumni office is working with strong volunteers to continually grow that program. I think what's so important, we always talk about, how are we all ever evolving? And so what I think is really important that we also focus on affinity groups. And so when you think about your experience as a student, I think about when I was in school and what you're experiencing now is I not only connected with my classmates, but I also connected with those in my major around a certain, Greek life organization, sporting activity. And so we need to create those opportunities where we can bring alumni around those common interests. And we're doing some of that, but I think we have so many great opportunities to continue that great work. And to me, that's really exciting. And it's exciting to see our alumni really rally behind that. President Franzen mentioned earlier a bit about homecoming reunion weekend. I mean, if you haven't come back, you have to come back. This was obviously my first one at Wittenberg. I've worked at other institutions. And it was a rainy day, but it was truly amazing. I mean, I would watch people step foot on campus and just the excitement and the connections that they had right away in the parking lot, they were already connecting. And we had so many class reunions and individuals back from the 60th reunion year, and just a really great weekend. So I encourage everybody to try to come back to join us for that. You also mentioned, Janet, March 11th. That's a big day for us, 175 years, and we're so excited about that. As we've marked off and kicked off our 175th year, we're creating opportunities across the nation on campus to really celebrate that, for us to meet you where you're at, but you also to come back and celebrate that excitement with us. March 11th this year is also our Commit to Wit Giving Day, which is a really exciting day for us at Wittenberg. And this year we have some really fun and exciting plans since it's a big year for us. So I encourage everybody, if you haven't already, to please sign up to be an ambassador. You can check our website. It's not just a day about giving, but it's an amazing engagement day where we get to connect with our students, see the power of collective philanthropy and how it impacts our students in real time. And to me, that's what brings me joy in what we're doing. And then we get to hear from our students throughout that day and the days following on how that really impacted them. So being an ambassador that day, you can do it from anywhere. And we have training on social media or through a platform to help with social media. So everybody will feel comfortable in doing that. And there's really no wrong way to do it. So I encourage everybody to do that. That being said, we're always pushing information out on social media through email and print. I encourage everybody, if you're not sure if we have your most up-to-date email address, please just double check because we don't want you to miss any of these great opportunities.
Can I add a couple of things to that? First off, we love to have our alumni back on campus. You're welcome anytime. There's nothing better for me than being on campus and going to see students do the things that they love, whatever that is. And when you have that chance, please do come back. And when we reach out to you, we connect you with the alumni chapters. That's a great way to get involved too. Commit to Wit is a great way to get involved. But I also want to say, don't wait for us. Get together. When Wittenberg people get together anywhere, one way or another, that energy flows back to us and flows back to what we're doing here. And so, I really encourage you to build those relationships, create new relationships with our Wittenberg family whenever you have the chance.
And send us pictures wearing your red because we will use those, and talk proudly about your Wittenberg experience and that light that it provided you and how you're passing that on to others. It does so much for us at Wittenberg.
Absolutely. Carrie, I want to especially thank you for being with us this evening. One of the questions has to do with what's it like being a student on campus right now in 2020?
2020. Being a student on campus right now is a very unique and rewarding experience, and like people watching tonight, they have had that experience and they know how rewarding it is. Something that I think is so special right now is that this campus is a safe place, and it is a safe place for students to take risks and try new things that are going to help them grow and develop and find what they want to do. And I think sometimes it's hard to find that environment, and this is a great place to do that. And I personally have been able to do that. And I talked a bit earlier about relationships, and I definitely think here as a student, accountability is very big. And I have always had, and many other students have always had, a professor or a peer or someone that's staff and faculty to hold us accountable and to keep us doing what we came here to do. And that's very important as a student. And then also the opportunities I talked about. There was a time where I was a little bit unsure of what I wanted to do after graduation, and being able to experience all the different things and try these things, and the right people were put in my path at the right time. And so I've been able to find my vocational calling and passions that I had no idea I had. And so that is perfect to have all those people here to do that. And Wittenberg is a place to feel accepted as who you are and celebrated for what you are and what you're passionate about and what you want to be. And I have felt that very much here, and I have talked to many other students who have felt the same way.
Good, good. So I think it's time for another question. Someone has asked, the Springfield community support of our Tiger teams is pretty good, but what can be done to get more students to games?
Let me start, and then I'm going to ask Kari to share a little bit. First I want to thank the Springfield community and everyone who comes out to support our teams. As I said before, being out there and watching students do what they really care about, and athletics is certainly one of those things for many of our students, it just brings me joy. And I think it brings all of the people who attend those contests joy. And right now, basketball season, we've got some pretty good teams to watch. So I appreciate the Springfield community. I appreciate our alumni who come out for games. We're going to have an alumni gathering this weekend when we have men's and women's basketball games at College of Worcester. Come out for that if you're in the area. But I hear the question, and I do think sometimes our students don't turn out like I might like to see them turn out. I think it means a lot to them when they support each other. And I was at the game last night, and I noticed the women's and men's volleyball teams together supporting the basketball team. And a lot of the football players were there, and a lot of the track and field athletes were there, and other students were there as well. But I wish we had more. And Kari, what keeps you from going to events? What do you think we could do to get students more interested, not only in the athletic events, but everything that's going on campus?
Yeah, I agree. The athletic teams are phenomenal at supporting each other and attending those. I do know that during the Greek Olympics, the number of those involved in Greek organizations going to sporting events as earning points for the Olympics is increased. So I think that we've talked a lot about the relationships. So really building those relationships with those who are in athletics and reaching out to places like student involvement to spread that word and encourage Greek organizations to go together or clubs, and really making that partnership and making supporting each other more of a priority. We are all very busy, but we are a small campus, and it's important that we support each other. So I think we need to just keep branching out and making those relationships.
Great, thank you.
One of our viewers is interested in hearing more about the plans for Coe Hall. So what's the vision for the renovations?
Yeah. So I wish some of my art department colleagues were here to really share their passion for the plans that they've really been key to developing. We started this process by having our architects sit down with the members of the art department and talk with them about how they see teaching visual arts evolving in the future. What does that mean for two-dimensional art, three-dimensional art, digital art? What does it mean for ceramics? What does it mean in terms of creating a maker space? And I think we've worked really hard to involve the art department and to engage them in thinking about not just what their needs are today, but how their needs are going to evolve. And a big part of that is the evolution of art in digital forms. And in the plans for the updated facilities, there's a big emphasis on digital media. There's a new movie making studio. There's also increased emphasis on the breadth of 3D art. You know, we've got a great ceramics studio today, but we're a little bit limited relative to the demand we have for that facility. We've got a great tradition of jewelry making as part of our 3D art program. But we don't have a space to do big sculpture, big 3D art, a maker space. And all of those things are part of what the art department has helped us create, and what Sarah and her father are helping us create, and what we're anxious to move forward with, hopefully very soon.
And I think I would just add, it's a great example of, I talked about the comprehensive campaign earlier, and this is a great example of when I say the people, place, and the present. We're really focused on a comprehensive campaign is just touches every area of campus, but the historic heart of campus, and Coe Hall, Myers Hall, the residence halls, and how can we continue to do great work like this and allow our alumni opportunities to make that impact. In addition, it includes scholarships and financial aid and endowed professorships and chairs and annual giving and unrestricted giving. I mean, so many areas. And so I'm excited to be a part of such change and to continue to see this happen.
Yeah. Janet, I see another question, that says that the steamer is a great asset, but some of our other facilities are dated, and wondering, what are the plans? And Coke is part of that plan. As Becky just mentioned, we have a comprehensive campaign, and restoring some of the facilities in the historic heart of campus is really a key part of the priorities for that campaign. Myers Hall, making Recitation Hall a more accessible facility. Looking at our business program and making sure we've got the right space for it. Maybe back in Carnegie from where it is today in Hollenbeck, or maybe another space, so that we have the right space for tomorrow, not just for today, for some of those programs. And we know that we need to maintain and improve the things we have a little bit better, and the campaign is really going to be an important part of allowing us to do that.
So if you haven't been back on campus to see the HWA, I certainly invite you to do that. But we have a question about the HWA. How do you see the HWA being used by the community to generate additional revenue for the university?
Yeah, well, it already is. It is a tremendous facility, and it's really a facility that has lots of different opportunities, right? We've got new classroom space. We've got meeting room space. We've got a tremendous indoor practice facility and 300-meter track. We have had corporate meetings come and use the space because we've got that great meeting space. We are seeing great interest from youth sports programs here in the community, and have had soccer players on the turf at the steamer late into the evening because now they have a great indoor place to practice. This afternoon we had baseball, track and field, and lacrosse all going on at the same time, and not just our students, but inviting others in from the community. I think the opportunities are only beginning to be realized. We've had people talk to us about doing a large banquet event that would be inside the indoor practice facility. We've talked about movie night in that facility. I think there are certainly lots of opportunities. We're fortunate to have some great leadership on campus with experience with programming those sorts of facilities, and I'm excited to see what sorts of new activities that'll bring to campus for us.
I'm sure that many of our alumni are interested in the answer to this next question. To what extent is Wittenberg committed to offering liberal arts courses, even if they no longer are viewed as essential by employers?
Well, first, I challenge the notion that they're no longer viewed as essential by employers. I think they are indeed viewed as essential, and I think even more so in some cases today. You know, for a long time, Wittenberg has blended liberal arts with pre-professional programs, and we're going to continue to do that. But we're going to continue to do that. We're going to blend those things because I think really that blended education is what employers want to have in their new employees. And I think from someone who's graduating from Wittenberg in 2020 and looking ahead at a lifetime of change, I think that liberal arts foundation, maybe coupled with a professional program, maybe not, really provides a great opportunity to be ready to adapt, to be ready to change, to be ready to do new things. Exactly what programs we offer will evolve, as it has over many years. We will have new programs like nursing. We will have some programs that go away. But you know, I think the liberal arts foundation of what we do is here to stay. And I think that's what we do best. That's what we've done for 175 years. But again, we've also, for that history, combined it with some of these pre-professional, vocational, whatever label you want to put on, whatever those sorts of programs. And that's who we are. That's part of what makes us different, as we talked about earlier, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
Here's another question. To what extent has or will Wittenberg adjust its delivery system of higher education to increase revenue and maintain long-term viability?
Yeah, you know, we're evolving. We absolutely are evolving. Part of adjustments in our delivery is expansion of our graduate programs. You know, for many years we've had a graduate program in education, and that program is still here and successful. We've added a graduate program in data analytics, and that program is a hybrid program of online education and in-residence education. We also have a new graduate program in athletic coaching, building on our great tradition here at Wittenberg and giving students in that program a chance to really have some hands-on experiences. We also have expanded the ways in which we use technology in delivery. You know, are we ever going to be a incredible online institution where that's the majority of how we educate? No, we're not. That's not who we are. But we do use online more. We've created more opportunities for our students to take online courses with our faculty over the summer. And you know, again, we can't stand still. We have to keep moving and changing and growing. But I think, you know, we're not going to pivot. We're going to evolve with how students are changing and how students' needs are changing.
Well, a very unique question. Humor from Amanda for Kari. This question is for Kari. Who is your favorite housemate? That must be an inside joke.
I'm guessing it might be
Is it Amanda?
Or
You
at
know,
least
I'm actually going to have to go with my housemate Olivia, who's here with us tonight behind the camera. So because she's here with me tonight, sorry Amanda. It's tough though. I love them all.
But shout out to Amanda, right?
Shout out to Amanda.
Thanks for that question, Amanda.
So we certainly come with the Lutheran tradition. So this next question is, how important is Wittenberg's Lutheran identity as we look towards the future?
Yeah. You know, one of the things that appealed to me about Wittenberg as I was in the process of the search that Janet talked about earlier is that Lutheran identity and the long tradition in Lutheran higher education of this seeking of vocation. And for me, vocation is the thing that engages one's mind and also captures one's heart. And Kari, talked earlier about really finding her vocational calling, and I think that's an important part of Lutheran identity. I think it's an important part of Lutheran higher education, and I think that is an important part of what makes us special, what makes us different, and will continue to be that.
I know we still have questions coming in, and we want to address them all, but I've been told we are out of time for this evening. If you still have a question, please email us at alumni@wittenberg.edu. I also know that Wittenberg is committed to more opportunities for virtual engagement and open dialogue, so look for some more conversations like this in the future. Thank you to President Franzen, to Becky, to Kerry, and to all of you, our alumni and friends, for your continued support and investment. Good night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.